We've got an active day and an active day tomorrow ahead. So we've got all sorts of stuff to talk about. The main activity that brought us loud thunderstorms this morning with the damaging winds, the hail, all of that mess is now pushed out of our area. We're now dealing with some storms that have built into northwest Arkansas. Zooming in, heavy rainfall, even some lightning will be possible. There is what we call a special weather statement, and that's because some gusty winds are possible with this. Maybe some small hail as well, but it is below severe limits for the time being. So loud activity, maybe some thunder, maybe some gusty winds, maybe some small hail. So just be mindful of that. Here's a look from our Mercy camera in Rogers with some of that activity. You can see a little bit of gusty winds with the shake of that camera there. And then you can see downtown Fayetteville, where we're going to have the Strawberry Festival later today. Activity not really at all this morning, just because we've got the rain. So maybe delaying the setup there, but you may be able to head out there and enjoy some of that activity later today into this afternoon when we have maybe some breaks in the activity. But for the meantime, you can see it is a dreary start to the day out there with all that rain. Severe weather possible today. 2 out of 5 risk in place for a large portion of the area. Just not a sliver of portions of Logan, Johnson, and Scott County. We do have the risk for large hail, damaging winds, and a low but not zero tornado risk today that we'll be mindful of. So keeping an eye on the radar, keep it here with us. Then we get into tomorrow. So tomorrow's going to be one of those days that you're going to want to stay plugged into the forecast. I know, oftentimes when we have some of these risks that they come and go, they're hit or miss, and people either don't take them seriously, or you're so busy you don't really think about the forecast that we have in place. Tomorrow has the potential that we could see maybe some higher end severe weather, and what I mean by that is the ingredients for this system. We're already into early mid-May. The ingredients for this time of year, climatologically speaking, are typically better compared to the previous months for severe weather. And in this case, we could have the potential for maybe some tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds. So be alert tomorrow. Have multiple ways to receive alerts. 3 out of 5 risk for all of our county coverage area tomorrow. And the potential for hail tomorrow looks to be pretty significant. We could be seeing anywhere from baseball. There's even some talks of maybe up to the softball size hail for the potential. So just be mindful of that. We also have the potential for maybe a couple of tornadoes. These could be a little bit stronger. Now, it's not guaranteed we're going to see strong tornadoes across the area. We're not trying to alarm you here, but it's just that time of the year. The ingredients are favorable. We'll need to watch. There could be a couple of intense storms tomorrow we'll be watching and needing to be mindful of. So all hazards are on the board for tomorrow, so just stay weather alert. Have the 5 News mobile app downloaded. If anything is issued in terms of alerts, you can get those there. Any updates that we have for you, you can also find on the mobile app. Tomorrow's Futurecast radar, this is what we're watching. You can see it looks like a jumbled up mess. The models have really not been that helpful the last 12 or so hours with these with the rain that we've seen. So we're going to be watching this. They're going to be back and forth, and because they're back and forth, it's not exactly clear on details. What we do know is if we get any of these discrete cells that you see here, that will be the potential for that large to maybe giant hail and a tornado potential. Certainly damaging winds will also be a risk there as well. But if we get any discrete activity, that is what we're going to have to be watching very closely for maybe a more significant severe weather risk with that large destructive hail and maybe a tornado or two. So we're here. We're going to get you through this. This is not something you need to, fixate and worry over. I grew up with storm anxiety. I used to be terrified of weather. Now I'm just delivering the weather information to you. So we'll get you through this. Just stay here with us. We're here around the clock. We're watching these forecasts. That's why we are here. Any risks that we got, we're going to make sure that you are alert and that you're aware of what we have in store. So weather impact alert for tomorrow. Just because it's not today doesn't mean we won't see storms today. We really just want to highlight the potential coming up tomorrow that you need to be aware of. So that's why we only have that. Then Tuesday, it's not going to be an all-day washout. It's not going to be necessarily severe weather during your day. I think the worst of that probably wraps up before daybreak, and then it's a pretty nice Tuesday evening, Tuesday afternoon, all the way through about at least early Friday.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Joshua. And here's Joe and Tiffany with this week's Around the Corner. Well, they visited the new additions to Carol Ann Cross Park.
5